So, welcome on in for this free practice 2 sessions. It is still very, very hot in Barcelona, at least ahead of second practice. Another hour awaits us. I hope there will be happening more than there was in free practice 1, which was an incredibly dull session. Let's see if the drivers get to better grips with their pretty much new cars, as there has been so many upgrades brought in that nobody really talks about now, as they are still testing them out. Um, I mean, Haas apparently are the only ones who are not really running a new part from rear wings, floors, new side pods, new end plates, and everything. Every team has gone pretty much nuts with whatever, as they always do when they get onto that Barcelona Catalunya track. But yeah, so far it didn't really have an effect on Haas, though. They seemed, performance-wise, around where they have always been throughout the season. A little bit slower, but they also weren't really going out for pushing fast laps as far as we would have seen. All the junior drivers are back out for this session, so we got Albon back, we got Perez back, and of course we got Guan Yu Zhou back on track. So that's good. Um, yeah, Red Bull has been complaining that they would have liked to do out a faster lap than they actually did, which apparently they didn't because they were stuck in traffic, basically, on their fast runs. If this is just an excuse or it really happened, uh, we were not really able to see. It was just sort of what they said. So yeah, um, it is still no sign of any clouds, no sign of rain. So I'm kind of afraid we will not get a much more spectacular free practice 2 session than we had with the first one, where the most spectacular things were some small lockups and an almost crash between Pip, Pips and Russell, who Vips was kind of surprised on Russell's fast lap and didn't get off the racing line fast enough. But yeah, that's pretty much been the highlight reel there. So yeah. Interesting thing though is that it looks like there has been some positive progress for Mercedes, as there is a lot less of the whole porpoising and complaining in general. So sure hope they can keep up this form over the weekend, to say the least, if not for the rest of the season, as I would be really curious how other teams would handle the whole side pod less design of the Mercedes if they prove to come back as a strong contender throughout the season. So yeah. So what do you think about the track? Like, do you like it? Do you like the racing it produces, or do you generally think um there is an overhaul needed? Because I personally don't really think it has produced any really memorable or viable racing since I've been watching Formula One, which is only for a few years now, but those races just always kind of became snooze fests, I think. Um, so yeah, it is. I expected kind of more change or more kind of a more shaken up field by the sheer amount of upgrades that have been brought, but they really didn't change anything too spectacular, which yeah is kind of almost disappointing as there has been made a huge deal around all that. But yeah, apparently Alpine has been commenting on some porpoising issues they had early in free practice one, or at least it looked like that based on the onboard footage. So yeah, we'll see. We are going to see more running and use out of the C1, C2, and C3 tires of Pirelli, which I think is quite a good choice as the track temperature is somewhere around 45 degrees Celsius. So yeah, and it is said to stay around those temperatures this hot all weekend long. So yeah, I don't think we will see too many runs on any soft tires because well, they basically just get cooked away by the track temperatures alone. So yeah, rain in Spain would be good. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen as the weather forecast says there is a 0% chance of rain. So absolutely not gonna happen. But I think that would be a nice shakeup to the race. Don't even remember. Has there ever really been a wet race in Spain or in Barcelona? So yeah, the track is greenlit here. So out we go. So I'm curious to see a comparison of the laps of Guan Yu Zhou, of Alex Albon, of course, um, to just see how they do compared to the junior drivers. As well, Phipps didn't really deliver. He was majorly just doing hard tire runs and well was on the bottom of the timing table by quite a margin. So I'm fairly sure Perez is going to do better, or at least I strongly hope he does. So yeah, Landon Norris is out. Both the Aston Martins really jumped out of there as At least Vettel had some technical issues in free practice one. So yeah, wet free practice, that would be neat. I'd be even happier if we would have a wet race, but yeah, with a 0% chance of rain in Spain in May, I don't think we will see a single drop of water hit the track. So Vettel going for his first fast lap here on the medium tire, as it seems. So yeah, but if you look at the grandstands, it seems pretty much like it is all sold out, even for a free practice two, which is quite nice to see so many people going out there on track, getting to see the race live. I gotta do that sometime again. So yeah. So Vettel getting holed up there in traffic on the last chicane a little bit. Not really impressing with his timings. Still P1 for now, but we got 55 more minutes to go. And he got already pushed down by Paris. So yeah, seems like the medium tires are the order for most of the day. Latifi, Stroll, and Magnussen, the outliers who are on the C1 hard compound for the moment, the only ones. So yeah, it looks or it looked quite solid for at least for Leclerc in the morning, as Leclerc shoots out for a faster lap. So let's see what we get there. As well, he let Hamilton past at the end of the last track. Now just re-overtook him. So yeah, currently Verstappen is still holding the benchmark, but only a few hundreds ahead of Sainz. So curious if Leclerc gets directly in there, as he just pushed out a purple sector 2. So let's see what he makes of sector 3, as yeah, but it looks like the cars can follow quite well through that last chicane, which always was a little clunky. Still cost him some time through there, and it is only third position for him. But yeah, but it's still just not much happening here, as it is a track that is very, very well known to all the drivers, all the teams. So yeah, not much changed over the years apart from turn 10, who has been made well, kind of a medium fast corner here as we get on board with Norris, who just carried a little too much speed into turn 7, had a little bit of an oversteer moment and took off into the gravel. But not with any condition. He could get out himself rather quickly, so that's all good. Albon seems rather unhappy with the setup of his car. At least he is complaining on the radio, as this lap was worth nothing from turn 1 right down to turn 16. So don't think he is all too happy. So Bottas starting his first lap rather late, but not doing too bad. Has a firm grip on these first sectors. 3/10 behind, which would put him currently onto P4. So he has faced some traffic in sector 2, not too much. They went out of the way fairly quickly. Didn't look like his line was compromised through that. As Ricardo moves his way up into 11th, and Bottas kind of botched sector 2 a little bit, getting 7/10 behind, falling behind Hamilton with that time. But it is a lot to play for here in sector 3 as he gets down, places himself just behind by 1/100th of a second, just behind Russell in P6, and he pulls off. Into the grass he goes, not by accident or anything, but actually just parked it. We got a yellow flag in sector 1. Apparently something broke in Bottas' car there, which is pretty much the most spectacular thing we have seen throughout all of the sessions here. Bit sad. So yeah, and we got a virtual safety car as Bottas was able to park the car fairly close to the to a track exit, but it is still some meters. They gotta push it. So let's see. Through turn 1, 2, 3 with Bottas on board. Yeah, no idea. It just kind of lost something. Just out of it, it looks like out of pretty much nothing. There was just a cloud of smoke coming from behind the car. Uh well, could very well, if I needed to take a guess, I would say it's an issue um with the transmission there. But He didn't put in too bad of a time with his 121.8. So yeah, let's see. We got a message. Bottas has parked his Alpha on the grass and looks to be his session over at an early stage, and not for the first time in the season either. When his car has been reliable, he's quick, but he hasn't had a chance to show his quickness. So yeah, seems Albon had a little run-in there as he was trying to get out of the way, but couldn't. Decided for the wrong direction and was stuck on the racing line as Sainz wanted to get past him, but didn't seem too bad. They didn't make any contact or something, so Araf, you want a Ferrari one too? I don't think so. There will definitely be a Haas one too here. There's no way of changing my mind. Mick will win this. Schumacher for the win. Then about a 12-second gap down to K-Mag. And whatever happens after that, I do not care. So yeah, I mean, doesn't look good for Bottas's reliability there. As if I remember right, he also had some issues in Miami 2 weeks ago. So but at least he really knows the track of Spain and around Spain. So it's not really practice he loses, but more like well, data that is lost to the team, which would be rather important data with a whole new generation of cars having the first really racing experience around that track. And yeah, the virtual safety car has ended. So yeah, just when I got a radio in of Carlos Sainz complaining about the virtual safety car, it ended. Very nice. So yeah, Sainz getting out there, but did not improve on his personal best on the first sector, which well, there he goes into straight ending his second sector. He's 900ths of a second behind the pace of Verstappen at the moment. Leclerc himself also not able to improve on his sector one time, while we see Sainz going through the last chicane. Little bit of oversteer there, and he goes uh not even close. 3/10 behind his own pace there. Leclerc also didn't improve on sector 2, getting into the chicane now, but doesn't seem like he will do much of an improvement either. So well, he did improve on his personal best, but still 1.5 tenths of the pace with that lap. So let's see what Russell has to tell us on the radio. He is having some sort of an issue through turns 3 and 9, which seem to be the rather high-speed corners, which was already a complaint of Lewis Hamilton in the first practice session earlier this day. So seems like Mercedes is still facing some issues there, even though the onboards have been looking very stable. So it is not very likely to be because of the porpoising issues anymore. As we see a lap with Lando Norris, who butchered the forced second, but personal best in Sector 2 still leaves him 1.4 seconds behind the pace of Verstappen. So, and there we just got a message in from Mercedes. It sounds like the Mercedes is bouncing again after seemingly improving that situation in free practice 1. And that being said, both drivers are up there in the leaderboard with Hamilton fourth, Russell fifth at the moment. But the question is, can they now find a setup that takes advantage of this new floor and rear wing assemblies they brought to this race? So, yeah. Lando Norris there, he lost the time. He went briefly off track there. Fears he might have damaged the underfloor there, as it looks like he dragged that across the curb quite heavily there. So yeah, Vettel is on another outlap as we go around the track with Russell now, who also didn't improve in Sector 1, so it seems whatever they changed isn't helping a lot by now, but the car doesn't look very bouncy at the moment as he flies through Sector 2, still half a second behind, but he has a new personal best set for Sector 2 there at least. Going into that last chicane. So let's see. As he flies down with well 1.07 seconds of the pace, not really what we wanted to see, and Hamilton goes onto another outlap there as the track seems very quiet at the moment, and we can see that only 8 cars out on track. The turn 2 incident where Albon kind of ditched it to the wrong side of the track to get out of the way with Sainz will be investigated. So yeah, let's see what they reach as a verdict. As I would say, this is just a racing incident, kind of. They don't have any racing or anything against each other from Williams to Ferrari. So I guess it was just a slight misjudgment of Albon there. So Ricardo just got asked by his race engineer if some high-speed corners are costing him performance, so they can tweak the setup. As Vettel just got out well on a soft tire, but with a 1 minute 20.7, topping the timing tables now, while Perez just got a purple Sector 1 as he is steaming up there into turn 8, getting down there. Still a personal best in sector 2, 96 hundredths ahead of Vettel only. While we get a timing of Verstappen with a purple sector 1. Perez going through the last chicane, last turn, flooring it onto the straight. And, well, new personal best for him, but only P2 with 9 hundredths to spare for Vettel, while Verstappen, after a purple sector 1 and sector 2, is half a second ahead of Vettel in the, well, green bull, kind of. Seems like they really copied that car quite well. So I'm kind of curious what Stroll will make out of that situation, as we see Verstappen go over the line with 3 purple sectors, 120.006. So yeah, 7 tenths faster than Vettel. Is still a lot faster than Vettel, but well, it is kind of green bull. I don't know. I really liked Aston Martin getting into the sport there and everything, and now they just copied another car as they did with BWT. That's just kind of I don't know. It's just not very sportsmanlike, if you ask me. I don't like it. I can understand, as there is a lot to be gained with doing something like that, and it didn't really have consequences when they did this back in 2020. But still, it's just hate to see it. All right, Russell just got sent out on a push lap by his engineer. At least the radio tells us that. The timing table tells us that he is still in the pits, though. Um, yeah, I wonder if we will be seeing the Verstappen record of 1 minute 18 being approximated, at least, as that is an insane time. It's pretty much 2 seconds faster than they are now, while they seem already to be pushing quite hard. So yeah, but yeah, kind of surprised by how the season has been going before that. Perez didn't match Vettel through the first flying lap on his softs there. I mean, he is third, but still a tenth back on the Aston Martin. So I guess they will slap some softs back on to Perez's car and see to get him over there, while Sainz is bringing in a purple sector 2, getting through that last chicane, last turner, firmly planted the pedal to the metal, got a purple sector 3 as well, and now we're in the 1 minute 19s. So yeah, we got a radio of Max Verstappen. Let me just give that a little listen here. All right, so Max is doing a double cooling lap, as they think that would be faster for him than getting back into the pits. Um, so yeah, Science officially cracking the 1 minute 19s. At least there's that. Corner analysis turn 4 between Verstappen and Vettel tells us that Verstappen is quite about 10 meters later on the brakes, gets the car to stop, but carries overall more speed through the corner and is 0.15 seconds faster through those measured 300 meters, which seems like quite a lot, actually. So, there we go. Leclerc out on a new set of soft tires, as he is only in fifth now. I guess they really want to change that, as he is approaching the chicane very, very slowly, getting as much room ahead as somehow possible. So there we go. Let's see how Leclerc gets through this lap. So looks quite aggressive, very bitey and twitchy, but without any mistakes, as he drives a personal best sector 1/10 of a second faster already, as he attacks sector 2. Still, the Ferrari is looking like very aggressive and twitchy, but he is handling it quite well, driving a proper line, very proper line through that second sector, gets it purple, 3/10 ahead of pace. As he has a Mercedes there, having to get out of the way, it looks. Into turn 16 now. That looks very quick, very planted, very, very assuring. Only for a green sector 3, but yet still 19.6. Now this is where the times go down, as the track definitely hasn't cooled yet. But the wind is changing direction, which will definitely influence the more skittish cars, as we can see with this timings that are coming in now. Who has how stable of a setup? So yeah, we have quite the lot apparently going on to hot laps now with Gasly, Leclerc, Magnussen, and Russell. All about to start theirs, as we see Schumacher on a fresh set of softs. I say he will put in a 1 minute 15 or something. I don't know. He will nail this. They will declare him world champion on this lap, based on this lap alone. So we are halfway through the session, 29 minutes to stay, as Schumacher flies through his sector 1 in P17 now. So let's see how he's pacing this. I can't tell you anything better, but he is 2/10 behind already, which would still place him in P2, which Russell just got. So P3 for him at current pace. Flying past a Red Bull there. And impeding an impeding incident between Stroll and Tsunoda in turn 4, as Schumacher kind of butchered sector 2 with 0.8 seconds behind the pace now. Quite a good lap though, as we get on board the drone camera again. I love the idea of having the drones fly around there. That looks gives it quite a nice action shot feeling as it gets through the chicane, last corner, up to ninth position with a 1 minute 20.75. That is very nice to see, but that was not his warm-up lap. I wished he did better, but he will not be declared world champion based on solely this lap he put in there. That is very sad for me, but well, yeah. So, let's see. As we just have some slow motions of Mick Schumacher. I mean, I enjoy those, but I think there's other things going on track as we get on board with an Albon replay, who also at the exit of turn 9 lost some carbon fiber that is now laying on the track. Nothing really majorly could actually be just some curb laying there. So yeah, Lando is out of the car. Car is completely on jacks, and they are removing the floor. So he did lose some of his underfloor to that turn 9 curb as they are all getting through there as fast as they can. Some a little too fast, running quite wide through there. So we see a fast lap of Hamilton going there, but no timing information yet. So I guess we will just have to wait until he is through with his lap there. So he looked quite sure, quite secure through turn 9 as he attacks the newly paved turn 10. There we go. Now we see the timings of him with green sector 1s and 2. So let's see how he will be doing through this third sector as he is getting into the chicane. Way behind. I'm sorry. Over the line. Not quite where he wants to be, but at least a P3 for him, 2 tenths behind Leclerc. As well, Red Bull is kind of forced to get their drivers back out and try to get a better time there. So yeah, Russell back in the garage as it looks, analyzing the data, seeing where they could get some more, as it seems like they are being quite tweaky with their whole setup and the upgrades they brought here. So tire blankets going onto Verstappen's car, at least at the front. The rear doesn't have wheels fitted yet. So let's see if and when he goes back out. He is still in his gear in the car, so I'm sure we will see some more running of him. As we are here seeing Hamilton on his cooldown lap. And into the pits, just behind Magnussen, who has been very quiet throughout this whole session. Haven't really seen much of him. He's currently sitting in P12, like quite unspectacular actually, and Gasly complaining that he has no control over his rear end and the car goes sideways as soon as he plants the foot on the throttle, going back into the pits for quite the overhaul there, I take it. So yeah, Sainz on an outlap on softs. Let's see how this pans out. And Leclerc is getting out back onto the track. And they have the underfloor of Norris's car removed now. So yeah, it is the track seems rather quiet at the moment, but the pit lane is very busy with plenty of drivers heading back to swap onto original tires to get new wings, new whatever upgrades they brought, tweaking whatever they can in an attempt to gain some more things. Um, it looks like Bottas has a power unit issue, which dropped him out of the free practice earlier. So I'm not sure why we see him again in free practice 2. And yeah, Norris was running wide twice, basically wrecking his underfloor with that. So they need to replace that, while the time they needed to take that underfloor off. I don't think they will get the new floor fitted in time for him to get out to free practice 2 again. So it also looks like Ricardo is having some issues, as he has only completed about 9 laps, and none of them actually seem to be on a soft tire. So we'll see what we get there as we get a team radio of Gasly. Let me give that a listen real quick. Yeah, it is. It is again the throttle issue he is having now back in the pits. And as we see a beautiful comparison of the Green Bull and the Red Bull rear just side by side in a split screen, but the Aston Martin back still is narrower, as they are having a different power unit. I think a complete copy of the Red Bull design would not do them any good anyways. So yeah, let's see how that pans out for them, as their times aren't too bad. Like, okay, Stroll is kind of off, but I mean, it's Stroll. And after such a heavy modification of the car, um, hitting the track for only the second time, after free practice 1, that is, of course. I think it is actually quite impressive to plant the car quite firmly into P8 for now, as we see Charles Leclerc going on another attack lap, this time on the medium tire, though. As well, he is still on the top of the timetable, as we are approaching the last 20 minutes of this second free practice session. So I don't really think the timing is um, very much necessary here, as Leclerc is on a medium tire now, not a soft anymore, but we will see. Nah, he already lost 2 seconds in sector one alone. So I do not think that this will be anything very interesting for us as the viewer. Yeah, kind of unfortunate that Bottas is already having issues again. Um, Especially that it is Bottas' car again with that power unit issue after only 3 laps here. So yeah. So yeah. But damn, I really like those drone shots they are doing around the chicane. Still don't like the chicane, but the drone shots look quite nice. As Leclerc is 6 seconds off his own pace on the medium tire. That is wow, that is not good. But yeah, Charles Leclerc started on the front row at every race this season so far, but he has never gotten a top three start at Barcelona so far. So I kind of hope for him he does, as well. I would be happy for him if that is to do so. I'm also kind of wondering if maybe McLaren has a general issue, as Ricciardo is only on P15 as well. He just seems not to be very much vibing with the track here. So yeah, I mean the track got a few degrees cooler. Meanwhile, apparently, with 43, if that data is any accurate, I have here. So but yeah, nah, still, um, it seems like McLaren is kind of off again. So yeah, Vettel complaining that his rear axle seems to give him trouble, and Gasly out on another fast, well, attempt, I guess, as he is not able to improve his own time in sector one so far, and Russell going for another outlap, probably trying to get that sweet first spot, as Gasly also does not improve in sector two, getting through turn 11 there, down into 12, 13, 14, 15 chicane. It doesn't look like these were the real changes, or the right changes, whatever they did, as he is 6 seconds off now, even though he is running a soft tire. So or maybe he did just another warm-up lap and tries to go for it now, but it doesn't really look like it. At least I don't have any real timing comparison table right now. So yeah, as it looks, no more Norris and likely no more Bottas. Not ideal for either one of them, especially for the team. And well, it is also quite unfortunate for Norris, as he was running the upgraded parts um, that he now kind of wrecked. So yeah, Ricardo didn't even opt for another flying lap, but went straight back into the pits. And we see another attack lap of Perez here on the soft, yet not able to improve on his time in Sector 1. So let's see. It seems the track kind of got slower as no one really improves on their own times anymore, or not even on their own times anymore. As yeah, the drivers start to complain about quite a lot of degradation. Perez also not improving on his Sector 2 time. So I think we can leave that one out. So yeah. Um According to radio messages from the engineer, 125 for Perez. There is something is off as this is not even on the timetable anymore. But it seems like Red Bull is struggling with heating or cooling temperatures, so to say, once more, as Verstappen was just warned to have a close eye on his peak temperatures throughout the lap, especially at the beginning. So, yeah. So the majority of the field now has swapped back onto medium tires, getting some data runs in there, so we won't really see much tumbling in the times anymore, just with Paris being an exception there, exploring the limits of the soft compound tire, as it seems. So I guess Red Bull, or at least Paris is part of Red Bull, might be going for a two-stop strategy with all these testings they put into soft tires now. So we'll see. I guess the soft will be used by Paris, maybe because they expect themselves not to do all too well in qualifying and needing to make up places there. So I guess they are just checking now how many laps they can effectively get out of this C3 soft compound tire. So yeah, but Verstappen is out on medium tires. So it looks like they either split the cars up for their data gathering now to find the best strategy, or already opted to split the strategies between their two drivers. And we are getting into the last 10 minutes of this practice session. There we see Alonso improving his own time by almost 1 second, at least throughout the sectors. Let's see how this ends. So yeah, seems this is another radio of Leclerc have an issue with his tire degradations there. So that might be interesting for race strategy then, as we really see how the generally nervous looking or skittish looking car now really starts to break out, especially the rear just starts sliding. So meanwhile, we're pretty much back to having a very busy track with yeah, Norris is in the pits. Um, the other 19 cars are out. Um, well, Bottas is. not driving, of course, as he seemed to suffer with an engine issue at the moment. So, yeah, we we'll see. It is a rather short track with only 4.1 kilometers, 4.6 kilometers in length. So, this seems like a lot of traffic issues incoming with all the cars out now. So, yeah, but Leclerc's medium tires, where he was complaining about degradation, were like 17 laps old. So, yeah, I don't know how good that makes the tire, or maybe even the suspension setup of the Ferrari look. So yeah, Mercedes is really looking strong throughout this free practice. I mean, no one is really out on fast laps anymore. So I guess the timing table as we see it now will pretty much stay the track how it is, the order how it is. But yeah, but yeah, it seems like more and more radio messages about high degradation, even on the medium tires, are coming in. So I guess we will see quite some hearts throughout the race. So yeah, um, yeah, it's really like. Meanwhile, I think I have seen or heard a message of every single team that the degradation is higher than expected or higher than they wanted or needed to be. So I think the strategy of Red Bull there to have long runs on the softs are actually quite interesting for tomorrow's race. As if I'd had to take a guess, I think as it looks of now, it will be a two-stop race. While experience shows that even though it might look like a two-stop race, most team will make it work somehow as a one-stop. Apart from Albon, of course, who will make it a zero stop and then just change his tire because of rules. But yeah, maybe a three-stop race, like soft, medium or something. That would be a very aggressive strategy. Might just pay off. So yeah. Yeah, it's like it's amazing as how many people came out on a Friday. Like it doesn't look as full as it did in the earlier session in free practice 1, but it is still quite full, which is not something you would see very often in free practice sessions in general. So let me have an onboard look there. Is any of the Alpines out? Let me see how they are doing with their issues. As they look firmer, they look more planted, they look less porpoisy as they did earlier. As they did in free practice 1 as well. And Lance Stroll complaining about a lot of understeer, which Yeah, seems a sign that the tires are really just melting off, basically. So yeah, I would like to say that Mercedes is having gotten a grip of their issues, but they have been high in a lot of practice sessions, and then sort of struggled to bring that performance over into the race or bring it over into qualifying. So yeah, now we're into the final 2 minutes. And despite Leclerc's despair about the state of his tires, they are holding on. And he has now made 20 laps um, on the medium tires. That's the most anyone has done. But there he goes into the pits and grabbing himself some soft tires. Probably to see to improve his own time once again. So let's see as we still have Leclerc on a outlap new on softs. Meanwhile, Schumacher has kind of gone for a bit of a slalom style line, taking out the pole at the end of the curb on the turn 9 corner. So yeah, seems like the only team without any upgrades in Barcelona is also the team to just kind of wreck the track aesthetics. At least one pole Mick has gotten this weekend, as I still hope for him to win, but yeah, nah, it's and yeah, Perez has taken a quick trip into the gravel as well there. Just misjudged his braking, went a little bit wide there. So I guess we are having the last laps started here as the timer reaches the 20-second mark. Um yeah, Perez has just been going too deep into turn 7 there, unable to really catch himself into turn 8 then, and just tested the Red Bull's off-road capabilities. So that is the checkered flag. Magnussen, the first to cross it there in P12. So yeah, that basically pretty much sums it up with free practice 2 as the last cars are coming in and over the line with tires that look like they are very much on the end of their lifespan. At least some of them. Leclerc also not been able to improve on his own time there. So, but well, he is topping out the table with a 1 minute 19.67. So followed by Russell and Hamilton, rounding out the top three, which seems like a much more encouraging day for Mercedes as they have had throughout the season earlier this year. But well, let's see how they are able to carry this over into the race, as this has been quite a struggle. for them as well. So yeah, that has been all of them back into or throughout the checkered flag, slowly going towards the pit entry, and that's about the end of the free practice session number 2. Yeah, thank you all for hanging out. Don't forget to check out planetf1.com for all things considered Formula One news. Fairly quickly delivered. Sometimes with little typos, as they are written quite quickly, but always corrected. And of course, go and have a look at totalmotorsports.com for a lot of news considering other motorsports in general, if you care about those. Um, yeah, that's pretty much been it. I've been Farrell, and I will see you next time.